Hey guys, it's Marianne here from Thrive, and in today's video I've got 3 of my top tips for working with Microsoft Excel, and they're little tricks and hacks that will help you use Excel in a way that is more efficient for you and can help you customize things to a way that makes sense for how you work or how you're sharing them with your colleagues or clients. So the things we're going to cover here are how to pin your workbooks into your homepage in Excel. Then we're going to look at how you color code your worksheet tabs, and then how you can quickly adjust column and row width and height across several to help you compress data or to stretch it out so that you can see and work with it more effectively. As a disclaimer, as always, in these videos I'm working on Microsoft Excel on the desktop using a Mac, so some of the buttons may look a little bit different, but in this instance all of these features are available and are all done with mouse clicks and are in the actual sheet themselves. So if they're not looking identical for you, just let me know, drop a comment on this video or get in touch directly, and I can then provide you with some links and information for your particular version of Excel. So the first quick tip I'm going to show you for how I like to work in Excel, is at the very beginning, and it's when I open Excel. I've set myself up with a bunch of pinned spreadsheets that I use all the time. So sometimes if you've got things that are saved in files and folders, and if you've seen any of my other videos, you know I love a folder. So things are moved through folder after folder after folder, and you can see the file paths. Some of these are quite long. So I've actually then set these like my favorites for Excel, and I've pinned them so that if I open Excel, I'll show you if we do it as just a second, and I'll quit out of Excel and I'll open it up again. Bear with me a second. So when I open Excel, I'm working on my Mac on the desktop. It's this main view. If I was to go in, it would normally be where you would say open recent and then more. Gives you this same window or a similar looking window in here, and you can go pinned. So if I was to open something from scratch, I'm just going to open, we'll go into one of these. I'll just pick something that I have. So let's open, say, one of my, let's open a forecasting tool. So let's open that one up as a template. So I'm opening that up for the first time, and I might work in it and set it up. And then, so I've opened it, I've played around with it. If I close it, and if I now go open recent and more, so it's now going to show up in one of the recent ones, and you can see there's this option when I'm looking at it, there's a little pin here. Where you can, from the ellipsis, you can hit pin, and then you can see if I pin it, it pops a little colored pin in, and when I go to my pin tab, it's now sitting here as one of the options. So it's like having a shortcut directly to it. As long as I don't move the base file that it links to, that link will always work. If you move the folder, because it's using this particular file path, if you move that folder, then you won't be able to find it. But having those things set up there means that if I'm doing need a particular document, I can jump straight in and I can access all of those directly. The next top tip that I have for you when working with Excel is one that I find really handy, and it's to do with color coding things so that my worksheets, so that I can group similar sheets or sets of sheets together. So for example, in this one, this is my budget and forecasting workbook that I used in the previous section, and you can see that here we've got down the bottom here we've got an instruction sheet, we've got a tracker, we've got a forecast month and an ideal month. Now what I might do is I might decide, okay, well this is the financial year that's just finished, so I might say, okay, this is going to be my financial year 2022, and I might take that out and not call that tracker anymore. And I'm going to create a copy of this one and put it in front of this one, and I'm going to call this one FY 2023. So what I've got now is I've got 2 sheets that, and you can see that at the moment my financial year sheets are both green. So the way we set the color for a sheet is that we right click on the name where the tab is, and you'll have this button here that's tab color, and it's all of the color sections like you would have for your when you format font up the top here in your home tab. So if I go tab color, now the thing is you can use all of the standard colors. You can also go to more colors, and you can pop in your own theme colors or branded colors. So in this instance, you can see that I've got the instruction one is in my navy. But if I change that, if I said, oh no, I want the instructions to be in green, if I now go, you can see that's green. This one is a current year, and I might say, oh, this year's finished now, so I don't want to know about it anymore. So I can actually make that like a red color so we know it's finished. So it means that on glance, when I'm looking at one particular sheet and go, oh, don't click on that one because that is no longer the current year, this is the one that I want. So there you go. Color coding your sheets will help you group things together. And of course you can move your sheets around as well, just using a drag and drop. So you could group similar colored sheets together. You could put all of those finished sheets at the end. And it means that if you've got lots of sheets that you're scrolling across, you can instantly see which ones kind of belong together. Now, the last tip that I have for you in this video on top tips for working with Excel is how to quickly adjust a large set of columns. So in this instance, again, we're working with that budget and forecasting workbook, and you can see here we've got quite a wide column here, and then these columns from here, from B all the way across, it actually goes to O, but when I'm looking at everything here, I can actually only see to N. I can't see anything sitting there in that year-to-date column. So there are a couple of things that we can do to make sure that I can see everything on one page. So the first thing is, of course, you can go through and you can manually adjust your columns, and sometimes when you do that, particularly with Excel, it doesn't automatically wrap your text. So you can double click on the dividing line, and that will mean that the column will pull back automatically to give you, as you can see down here, we've got some longer text, so it will pull back automatically to that section. You can go through and you can manually do those, and that's all fine. But what I love is that I can go through, so this column, which is my previous financial year totals, because the title is quite long, that's about as wide as that would be. But from column C all the way through to column N, they're quite small titles, and even if I was to put large numbers in there, it shouldn't really take up as much room as I've given it. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to highlight all the way across column C to column N, so you can see they're highlighted there, and I'm going to dictate that instead of them being 17, I want them all to be, let's say, 13.5 pixels wide. And by pulling it that way, by highlighting all of those columns, the settings I've made for column C are replicated across all of them. And you can see now I can see the whole page on my single screen. Likewise, you can do the same working down. So I might decide that I want these to be slightly more spaced out. So I might select these ones, and I'll decide that I would like all of these, instead of 16, I would like them all to be 21. And you can see it's given me all of this space immediately. If I don't want to do that, of course I can undo it. I can undo it using the click here, or using Command or Control Z, depending on whether you're Mac or PC. So it's a really great way. It works the same way, the other way as well. I might decide, no, that's definitely too small. I've done some testing and I have some numbers that are too big for that space. So we could stretch them out to 19. And again, it will pick up all of the columns as far down as, so it's the whole row, the whole column, all the way down the sheet, but only for those that I've highlighted. So these ones here have not been affected. The last way that we can resize our columns really quickly is to select up in the top corner here. If I select this one, if I double click now, it's going to shrink everything to the minimum width that they can be. So by double clicking, everything has been shrunk. So you can see it's brought it down to the data that's on here. So if I was to type in 10,000 on this one, you can see it's going to pull it out because these are formatted for numbers, and it won't let them roll. If it's text, it would cut it off. But it's going to, so now I've got an odd shape here and an odd shape here. So I can highlight all of these. I can say I want these to be 12.5, and now I know that that's going to fit up to five digits, or 7 digits really, because it's five figures plus two dots. So I hope that that's been really helpful for you.